Morning all. Back in the workshop this morning. It's Sunday morning. Excuse the noise of the chainsaw in the background, don't worry about it. It's countryside, it's what you have to put up with. Yesterday went quite well actually. Just to recap, we went through testing of the cylinder head, and we went through looking at the bores on the block. Just switch cameras. We talked about checking the bore. The bore meter should be here today with a bit of luck, but we'll see how we go. When I get that, I can then do that assessment I mentioned. I'll cover that when we get the gauge come through, if it arrives today. And I'll give you a close-up shot. You can see this on the other videos, but I talked about that hole there. I don't know if you can see that hole. It should look something similar to that, but somewhere along the line in its previous life that was stripped right out, and obviously we're going to have to sort that out. If you can't see it on this video, do go back and have a look at the one I did a couple of weeks ago, which covered that. I really don't want to strip all the crank out and the cases. I really don't want to do that if I can avoid it, because you're going to see all the internals of the engine that comes out, so it seems pointless doing it on the one that's going in when it was rebuilt several years ago. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. We know that it's in good order. I've checked it. I will check. I may take the belly pan off. Yeah, I may take the belly pan off at a later date just to check the gearbox and the crank. But I'm pretty sure, going by what I've seen so far, it looks in good order. So that would be crazy to take that apart unless it's really, really necessary. Let's see what's in here. You know, I never got this unboxing malarkey. How stupid. We're not just going to unbox it, which is really dumb in my opinion. We're going to use it. Why would you unbox something that you don't use? Madness. Just go and get rid of this. Hold on guys, I'm going to move you again. Let's see what's in the box. It's here. Right chaps, managed to set this up. It's not the best, I have to say. It's a little bit sticky on the pickup there, but it'll be good enough for what I need, as long as I can measure it. I would like I've got a couple of vernier gauges, but unfortunately they don't go wide enough for this bottom part here. So I might invest in one of those. Let's see how we go anyway. I don't know if you can see that. Let me move the camera back a little bit or down. Might have to. Yeah. Let's bring it back a little bit. What I'm going to try and do is show you what I do in order to get a figure. Now, if you think about it, when the piston's going up and down, when the piston comes top dead center, the rings only come up to about maybe 10 mil, 5 mil to the top of that bore, about here. So the wear is going to be from that point where they stop all the way down to the bore where they stop. That's the working surface of the rings. So in order to get a measurement, now if I get in the way of the camera, please excuse me, but it's a bit tricky to do this. I need to take 3 measurements. I've got my anvil in here and I've got my guide set so that I know that this is close to 66 as possible. So I'm going to put it in there, and you should see the meter go round, or the needle I should say. I'm going to keep it close to the top, and I'll rock that backwards and forwards until I get the highest point. Now I can't see whether the camera's picking that up or not. Let me just see if I can. No, it's not. It's just trying to bring you further up. That should give some idea of what I'm doing. So it's at the highest point, and we rock that back until we see that needle reach its maximum, then come back as I rock it, and then I zero it in to 0. So I know now that if I go that way, obviously it's opening up, it's closing, and that's its maximum point of closure on the anvil and the gauge. Hope you can all understand that. It's a bit tricky. So I know now that that's the widest point at that point in the bore. I'm going to measure 3 places in the bore, in fact 6. One at the top there, one in the middle, and one at the bottom, and then I turn it 90 degrees and measure them. Now that's going to be really hard to get on camera, so just please take my word for it. But I'll zoom that in. If I'll do this side first so we can see what we're doing. This is a top reading, and this is slightly above the rings, so we can see the amount of wear. Oh, it's come out. Take that again. Coming up, coming up, coming up. That's zoomed in. So I know really there's no wear there, because that's not a working surface, because the rings don't get up that far. There is an argument to say the piston might, but I doubt it. So we'll go down halfway. We'll check again. And we are 0.01 wear on there. And if we go right to the bottom, we are 0.004 wear on there. Now to make sure we've got it as close as I can get it with the reading, what I will do, let me just move the camera. A micrometer is better than the vernier gauge, there is no doubt, but this is good enough for what I want. So what I would do is, I know it's 1 revolution on the gauge, the clock, before it gets to the 0. So if I take my vernier gauge and slowly creep it in, we'll go right around. I don't know if you can see the clock moving. And we'll take it round to where it was, about there, and then come away. And my reading on that is 66.002, which is what I've marked on top of the block. 0.002, 0.003, 0.003, 0.005. That one's wore a little bit more. Don't know why, but it has. It may be because I did a little bit more honing. I don't know. Difficult to say. But I think the bores are okay. I think they're usable. So what we will do is get a brand new set of rings. and then check the clearance when I put a new ring in. Now if I put the new ring in and then we find the clearance between the end of the ring as it is comes together when it's in the bore, if that's way out, then obviously I've got no choice but to go for 0.5 over bore, or 0.5 of a mil bore out on all 4 cylinders. Complicated, isn't it? Let me switch cameras a minute. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a bit long-winded, but it's definitely worth doing to make sure that things are in reasonable or good order, so you know where you are as far as using the same pistons, and also whether you get another set of rings for as it is at the moment, or whether you really bite the bullet and go for a rebore for the first oversize 0.5 of a mil. I think myself, from what I've said, I think I'll get away with a new set of rings. Anyway, that's it for the time being. I'm going to be signing out, so I'll see you again later. Bye.